Mic check 1 2 1 2. Welcome to the Cuddy App. Here come round 2, huh? What's up, folks? This is I'm back. This is King Arthur. I don't know if I said my name last time. This is King Arthur. This is the second video. The first video was about the Cuddy App group, how we started Cuddy App, and the process we're in now, the phase we're in now, which is executing the plan. Today, we're going to talk about, I want to mention the process of building the apps. So, no, I or no one else on the actual team is coding the actual Cuddy app or any other apps that we are going to be using. But I am a code reader. I know several different computer languages. So does another one of our owners, the operator. He knows how to read code and is very good at that. So the point I'm making there is you don't need to know how to write code to develop an app, because our two other investors, so there's four of us at the table, me, the code reader, the operator, the code reader, and then there's the PR folks, the barbers, the actual barbers. They cut hair for a living. One's a traveling barber and the other's an entrepreneurial barber. He cuts hair but gets his money elsewhere as well. And so none of us are coders per se. I am, but not an app developer coder. So that's that. You don't need to know how to read code necessarily. It'd be helpful if you had somebody on the team who could understand what's going on, but you don't necessarily have to learn how to read code. So how we ended up starting the app, like I said in the last video, was me posting on Facebook asking people who wanted to go in on an app. And I already had an idea, but I just kind of wanted people who was already in line with that idea and or putting money up right to make an app to see what can happen. And when we all got together and decided that, yeah, we want to move forward with this particular app idea, it was on me to find a developer, because I knew, or developing company, and I knew I wasn't going to be the one sitting down. I didn't even want to try to sit down and learn, the actual coding part, because I know it's a lot more to going into it, and the time it would have took to learn it would have not have been as beneficial as getting people together, getting money together, and finding a developer. So that's what we did, right? So we got a developer. And I searched several different developers. I searched Fiverr, searched Google, Facebook Marketplace or wherever, asking on Facebook, app developers. And first I came to a no-code solution developer. And this is just for my standpoint. I felt like the no-code solution just didn't have all the functionality that we needed. For you who don't know what a no-code solution is, it's kind of like an app that's you don't have to get from the app store, or you can, but it's more like it's a website designed to look like an app. Basically, that's what I would call it, a website designed to look like an app. And they can do a lot of things, but so some push notifications we really, really wanted. It's the pay process part in app we wanted. So some of the other unique qualities that we wanted that just didn't provide us the same flexibility that we have with our actual app. And but a no-code solution can be ideal for some people, because you can use it to test your solution on the market, right? Build it up, get a skeleton going, and get it on the market and see how people like it, see how they interface with it, and you can see if you need to change it or add or take away from. And also, it's a lot less cost efficient, or it's a lot less cost efficient. So it was more cost efficient, so it's cheaper than what we went, right? The no-code solution I was looking at was only $6,599, and that was from idea, design, and product, actual digital product. But we went with a native hybrid code, so we ended up finding the developer, Technosip, I think is how you say it. And disclaimer, or not even disclaimer, I did look for a black-owned developer first, but the company we went with, they do a good job. So it was kind of who can do the good job, best job on our budget. We only had a budget of, what was it? And so the budget for the app was, I was asking people on Facebook, hey man, can you come to the table with $2,500 to put up the starter app? And at the time I had the price for the $599 one, the no-code solution. And so I had a baseline of how much money I needed at least to get started, at least to go to the table and get, a MVP, minimum viable product. So that's where the capital came from. People who said yeah to the post and was able to bring money to the table. That's where the money came from. But this app developer he said 10 off top, and I was like, man, I really want to work with you guys. I don't want to go anywhere else. And we ended up working out a deal because I told him we was going to do some other things, some other, more than just this one app, and that was for sure. And so we went with them. They was able to come down on price and meet us at the budget of $6K. So and then once that got started, it was now going back and forth with the 4 people about the design of the app, the flow, how it was going to work, a lot of the stuff, getting some of the capabilities from the developers, and then just going back and forth. Now that process took several weeks, and that was only because people got lives. Some of us got kids. Well, most of us got kids, actually. All of us got kids, actually. All of us got kids. We have other jobs, or an actual job so we don't have just time to sit around and work on this all day. So we got to dedicate our extra time to this, kind of like me now recording this video after I've been at work all day. But it's okay. That's what it's the game. It's the name of the game. That's the game. Look at God putting that shine on me again. Thank you, Lord. And so developing the app was, like I said, a couple weeks. That process was new to all of us, but it was eye-opening to me. So I can speak of my point of view, right? Eye-opening to me because just planning out some of the smallest things that you wouldn't think about just keep happening, and things you gotta address, and you gotta go test them out, and then now like it's change them up, and that process, it took some time. It was a learning curve for all of us, but it was really good and needed. And now we are, masters or experts at our own product now. So, like I said, I took the time to find a developer. And once we got a developer, we took the time with the developer to kind of plan out what that was going to do, how it was going to function, how it was going to look. Some of the icons we had to find in there, just the color scheme, keeping in line with our logo. So that was that part, and that was the week of making the actual product. And then once we got a valuable product that we liked and was in the store, we changed that some more, right? So one thing I do remember hearing somewhere on one of these podcasts, somebody was saying about apps and software and applications. They're meant to get better, right? You get you something good enough to get out there to people, and then let the people tell you how you make it better. And so that's kind of where we're at now. Like I was saying, we got a product, it's out there, and it's getting better. We got milestones or new phases to iterations to come out soon. Always adding to it, right? Just open up the store, the Cuddy store. And so that's kind of where we're at with that part. The back end part, the work part, the lawyer, accountant, website, domain, cost, monthly cost, right? It wasn't a manual for that. If it was a manual for that, I ain't read it. I ain't get it. It's costing a lot of money. It's costing a decent amount of money to keep up, especially when it hasn't brought in, a lot yet. So, we got a couple streams of revenues for it too, but we need them, chuck it along, right? Getting it going, getting it together. Lawyer, we had her early in the stages, so she was right after we got the developer. We found a lawyer up in DC. She's a la carte lawyer, so she's with our she's with us per task, per whatever we need, but she's somebody we can depend on because they've been there with us since the beginning. So we did get a lawyer. We have an accountant. Got one of them right before we opened up. So that's that. What about copyright, trademark infringements? Trademarks and all that good stuff is squared away through the lawyer and stuff. So yeah, that's some of the stuff that we didn't encounter. But some of the stuff we encountered we didn't necessarily plan for. Like, we talked about it, we knew it was gonna happen, but how much it was gonna cost was just didn't have an idea. And then let's just go some of the costs we got. We got AWS, of course, where we're hosted. We got our dev monthly services. We got our Stripe software. We got our Hopper software, and that's for our login. And Stripe is our payment processor. We got a couple of small stuff like a QR code I paid for the year. What else? There's a website and domain name. So I host and made our own website, so I'm sure that was a big money saver. Store I made, products we were doing in the house. So we got our own screen printing. We got our own hat embroiderer, hat screen printer. We got our own vinyl cutter, sublimation, stuff like that for sure. So I just said a bunch of stuff I heard my producers, manufacturers say. So we got some of that squared away. I think I'm missing somebody. I don't know. I hope not. I think that's all the cost that we accrue a month. And now that's being paid. And so we're paying some of that out of pocket. We're paying some of that with investor funds. But most of the rest of the investor funds that we do have coming from the new outside investors, we want to be able to take into the milestones, the new updates coming out. And our plan is to take the money that we get from the subscribers, right? Of course, update the apps. Update the app, marketing, promotion, advertising, all that good jazz. Creating content. Content's a big thing too, because I'm not the only content creator, but the main only full-time content creator. Some of the other guys put in work too, and the investors they do too, but I'm mainly the main content creator or producer or whatever. So we got to find somebody for that. So those are some of the monthly costs we got. So I don't know any other obstacles that's coming around yet, besides people using the app. So I'll tell you about that next time. Until when we get that fixed or solved, we'll tell you how we fixed it. So I don't think I got nothing else for this episode about developing the app, right? And some of the costs that come with that. So I think once we had the plan that we were gonna pursue this particular endeavor, we found a developer. Once we found a developer, we went back and forth with them about mapping out the app. We had the lawyer. She was there after the developer, and the accountant came a little bit before we opened for business. So those are the main things that we dealt with developing the app. And kind of getting everybody on the same page to meet every day. That was another one too. Like, to get all the people together to meet every day to plan this thing out, to hash this thing out. It was in my brain, but it was like I needed, some other energy, some other synergy to get it out here. You dig? So that was it too. But that's minor, because that's just the leader being the leader and getting these people together to do what he's gonna do, or if you're gonna make it, or if you ain't. But it ain't no ain't. Is you gonna make it, or is you gonna make it? And so we made it. So yeah, to my investors, y'all know what time it is. To my partners, y'all know what time it is. You're watching this video, like it, I guess. Leave a comment. I'm cleaner today, but it won't always be this way, for sure. Yeah, thank you to the Most High for getting us here and keeping us here. And if you haven't already, check out the Cuddy app and any other app we got coming out.